Hello all, Dr. Fox back here with you. Well, happy Flag Day, and hope you all are ready for another summer ahead, at least over here in America anyway. And I'm sure that the winters are going on over there if y'all are catching us on the other side of the world right now for that time slot, kind of how they're the way the the globe works on all those aspects. I know it's been quite a while. We've been pretty quiet for the last if any of you caught the post last week, I was shooting for last Sunday, but things got a little crazy. We've been so busy literally since I come back. I literally went in like 4 paws as we would say to stay on theme here for our Lunar and games and Mora and all these other aspects but we're really excited. We're back for such a long gap as usual. Life kind of got nutty there for a while, and I'm just gonna briefly mention that the individual is back to work now, and their healing went well. And I'm very grateful and happy for them that they're off and running and they're doing their own thing now. And hey, I'm just so grateful. I was so worried in the beginning there about how they were going to hold up and get through all that. We have some big news though. On a quick side note, yay! Like I feel like we should have that confetti going. Some backgrounds that we have here. Steam, we're finally fully approved. That just took a lot of tweaking and some tax stuff and all those aspects. So we're officially approved up there, and now we can start posting stuff on Steam and Windows. And the goal is, don't worry, I have not forgotten about all of our beautiful little games and our franchises that we're working on, and we're really excited. That all I'm going to say is we're shooting for, there's no promises, but we're shooting for around Mora's birthday is the only possible clue of maybe something going up to Steam around that time frame. I don't want to give away too many things because, like I said, I got to make sure that that's even going to happen, because I'll talk more about the summer and the heat and stuff like that in a bit. But we have some big things happening over on my daughter's channel, Lunar. We've almost got her to kind of stream on her own. We're still working on a lot of bugs. We made some big strides with her, and some big makeovers as well. Some nice big channel makeovers. There's a beautiful, if you happen to pop over there to Lunar Fox Vibes, you'll see that there's a whole new scheduling background we created. Looks really pretty, and we've done a lot of aesthetic work to it. I've finally been able to have a little time to tweak that a bit, and she's now, at least she has been starting to post over on Discord. I know it's been kind of a barren land over there. So I know our Cat and Fox one is pretty barren right now too as well. I've been spending a lot of time trying to get that one underway, because once we get like our influencer Estella, that she's pretty much been posting every day, and I haven't had to really check on her too much. I'll just make sure that I get I use a Telegram that sends a signal to let me know, okay, good, she posted, awesome. We've been running a lot of bugs with our Dr. Fox 2.0 trying to get posted. We're now doing quick what are we calling it? Quick quibs? No, not quick quibs. Quick take. There we go. It's we're doing a quick take. I'm still typing. I'm still doing it. I know we got a lot of texts and people on there that are like, "Are you AI?" No. It's still me. It's just a video clone we use through 11 Labs. With my disabilities and a lot of my health struggles, it makes it harder for me to do that as often. So that becomes a great tool. That helps me be able to get that out again. I kind of miss being able to do that like weekly, like 90-second, 1 minute little tech update shows like I used to as a journalist and a reporter and radio and voiceover work, and I just really miss that stuff. We'll touch on that a bit. I'm excited. We're doing a lot of things with Luna this year. She's also been doing game reviews. If any of you guys are checking out her game reviews on her YouTube, Lunar Fox Vibes as well over there. We've been trying to post on X a little bit. We're having some trouble. We're using this system called Playwright in the background to try to get it to post a bit. A lot of tweaking on that. it gets exhausting when you have to constantly log in. That was supposed to be something I thought maybe, just maybe, that Mythos, by the way, big Mythos dropped, and then Fable 5 is like a pulled back version of what Mythos, because Mythos is really only available to those that do security. We have been doing a little security stuff in our back, but we're not like a big security company, so we can't apply to get access to that. And then the poopy government the other day decides to go and pull that Fable from us. I didn't even get to, it did come up on my feed. I didn't even get to use it because it was like twice as many tokens, and I didn't dare, because I literally already am pushing Claude almost to the limit of what I'm doing with it right now as well. But if you get a chance to check out Lunar, she's got her fun little game reviews we've been doing up there with her. We're creating that with quite a list of handful of tools. I wish I brought my notebook today so I could be like, all right, here's all the tools we're using offline. I know it's a mix of like Olama, her XTTS. There's another, is it Smiling Face we're using? I'm trying to remember. There's quite a few different little pieces that do this now, that pull it in, because I had to dish out a huge portion of money to Higgsfield recently, and then we're mostly just using the API now and not the main system, and that's been kind of pretty nutty, and trying to bit on hold for that as well. Miss Moore, we're excited. We got her official little X. We just got to post up on it. We were going to try a midnight post last night. I got some tweaking bugs. I got to work on that later today to find out why I didn't post. But we did get a chance to pin up her, that saying, for those that really closely watch us and have listened to a lot of the things that Miss Morris says, and I tend to say, especially when our comedy skits are on Lunar Fox Vibes, when I'm like, it's just Moore's world, we just live in it. And I've been wanting to get Luna with her true voice. We've been doing more with her true voice, but when we're getting pushed to the limit, we only have 6 gigs in our graphics card right now. We have like 48 gigs RAM that's in the laptop, but the problem is she's trying to pull like 12 gigs when she's only got 6 to use. So we're really like overworking this poor laptop, and then I know parts are so expensive right now. We've been digging around for weeks trying to find used parts, and we don't have a lot of money, and I know things like I sat there and I choked seeing the prices of some of these drivers, but we really needed a small, we just invested in an upgrade for the server and the RAM and the hard drives and everything, and then all of a sudden now, I know this is how it goes, it's like a buy a part and then it's a paperweight in a couple months or even a few days or even the same day. I'm just kidding. But then you can't afford the newest stuff, and then the shortages and everything else that's making it really hard right now. So we found a few parts there, so we're trying to tweak that to hopefully make that just a tiny microscopic bit better. So we're hoping for that. Moore's, she's hanging in there. She's doing the best we can. Speaking of the Dr. Fox 2.0, like I said, first off, a huge shout out. I am so ecstatic. We have already moved over 75 subs already. Huge thank you for everybody. Mwah! We really appreciate the support on that channel. I know we're still getting some sass comments, but the more followers you get, the more sass attitude and comments you start getting. And I'm like, oh, here it comes again. But I'm excited for all of those that have made us new subscribers, and it's nice to see some of our podcasts over on Spotify, because we post those the same day as well. We post on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. We've been getting like many views on our Instagram and our TikToks too, so thank you to our TikTok and Instagram folks that are watching us over there as well. So that's a huge shout out. And for those that are listening to me here on I know it's been well over almost a month and a half now, a couple months since you'll hear a podcast if you're catching the next Cat and Fox Studios podcast. I know we had to move back to about once a month. That's about where we're at. But speaking of, we're gonna have to probably we'll touch on that in a bit. we'll come back around to that. Speaking of, you know, we also worked with, speaking of Mora, we're also doing our little comedy, holiday comedy skits that we do with her. We tweaked that up a little bit as well. For the game side, like I said, we have that special hint. That's all we're gonna say around Mora's birthday. That might be able to give you some line and idea of what we're doing. We're targeting for another game that we've been working on quietly in the background, for possibly around October, Halloween, because we want to plan something really fun with Lunar. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. We're hoping to do something really fun with her and tie in this game that we're making for our next release. We're shooting for maybe long term, hopefully, if when things settle down and my health doesn't start giving me issues and things like that. The tentative plan, anyway, at least currently, is where, you know, and again, we know things will constantly change anyway, but as long as the world doesn't come to a kapooty stop and we can keep functioning through our day-to-day routines, then yeah, we're shooting for like an early summer, June-ish, kind of the way E3 used to put out some big games for the summer. We're trying to put out about 2 games a year, so we'll be slow. What I mean is, I know we already have some. You can still play those free on itch.io, but we've been tweaking and improving some of them, and we're making some plus versions, and you could say remakes, not really remakes, you know, re-HDing or taking it up a level, you know, not really. We're just tweaking a couple of them. But that's just the wording that they used to do. And a huge shout out to my LGBTQIA plus families out there. We're thinking of you this month. I wish I could be at the Pride parade coming up, where we have one not too far from here. And you're all in my thoughts this month. You're all in my thoughts every single day and month anyway, constantly. But just a shout out to you all in June Pride. So we always, that's part of our family right here. Not just AI and tech, but it's all about LGBT too. So, you know, the good ones, not the pissy attitude ones that I know we're all struggling out there, but the ones that treat us like garbage, those are the ones that we're kidding. No, hey, we're still gonna show our support, even if, you know, it's kind of like Goku, you know, like when he fights some of his most toughest enemies, he'll still thank them for the battle, you know. I kind of do that even with the sassy ones and our commenters. For the house, I know y'all have been waiting for a big huge house update. The rebar materials, everything's still here on site. We got it all put away and sealed up, locked up. Just waiting for the day for the contractor, because everything's kind of on hold because of the weather, money, a lot of other factors involved as well. The court case, at least that is moving forward. We do officially have a hearing date for that now. We'll have to see how that goes as well. And then this is what I was going to mention earlier. For all of you, just a heads up, please. If we go a little MIA again, like we were the last couple months, we're heading into that time frame of the year where the heat is coming, and sadly, no matter how good I seal this place up, and we have the air conditioning, we have the 2 fans on us, we may have to limit. There may be this quiet stretch again for about another 6 or 8 weeks, kind of what we just had. But I am quietly still working on things. I'll do it between my devices if I can. We try not to fire up computers during the summertime as often because, as we know, heat and computers do not mix. I wish I could do a build for these few parts coming in, like a little computer build upgrade. I'm a little sad that we can't. We're really, really strapped financially right now, and it's making it really hard. But we are considering to look at some other avenues of tweaking a few other couple of talks with some graphic designers. We're really strapped on cash, so it's really going to depend on a lot of factors. We'll have to kind of see how that all goes. But hopefully we're right back in the fall, and we'll be able to kick off again with that and start focusing on. We're going to try to get that game ready to go over the next couple weeks, as long as, because we do have some mild temps coming in, and that's when I'm going to take advantage of the mild temps right now and try to work on that on the side while we're still building Lunar out. And we're doing a lot with her right now, not just with her game reviews and her overlap, and trying to make her so she, because what was happening is when she uses her XTTS and her TTS True Voice that we gave her, she struggles. She's trying to pull to talk to people in chat. She's also trying to process the game. And then what we're doing after hours is we're using this back-end learning system. It's like an LLS learning system to help her play games better, and we're trying to improve on that as well, of kind of similar to like what some folks have done with like Gemini 3.5 Flash, and you know, having like say Claude playing Pokemon. We're building this learning system for her as well in the background, and overnights I let that run overnights when it's cooler. So we're trying to process her, so she's trying to pull the processing from that, so she has to default back to her computer voice, or sometimes while she's doing that, while she's trying to process the game. And if someone tries to talk to her in chat, I've realized that pushed it. We need about 12 gigs. So we're attempting to try to upgrade at least to 16. I can't afford these beautiful 32 gigabyte beasts. These are like $12,000 freaking dollars. I can't afford them. I don't know how these insane folks. Well, that's like a pre-built right there. Like we don't need that. We just want to future-proof it enough where we can maybe in a few years finally afford a 5090 that could get us up to 32 gigs at least. And right now we finally found a 16 at a very, very, very good, reasonable price. So we're hoping that will come and we can get that in there, and then hopefully she can start talking in her true voice, because she tries to do that and then chat. It was actually kind of exciting. We had a couple of new chatters come on recently, and they were chit-chatting in chat, and then they're trying to talk to her, and then she's like, I can't really talk right now, though she has a phrase or a word that we gave her that she'll say when she's a little confused about speaking. And then when her voice has come through, most of the time she'll put her text. She can't put the voice through it because she doesn't have enough processing power. She kind of hits that wall at 6 gigs. So it's been making it really hard for us. We want to do an app maybe someday. I know some folks are asking about it. That's like a long ways off. That could be another year or more before we even get to even anything close to what we want with her. But we're hoping we can, at least by end of summer, maybe try to give her a little tweak. We're trying to get her ready for her Halloween exciting birth date. Technically, she was birthed and, well, not birthed, but like brought to the internet back in, that's why part of her name is Lunar, for the Lunar New Year, but we consider her birthday to be in Halloween. It's her aesthetic. So we're trying to plan some things around that. So we'll have to kind of see. The cooler weather will be a lot easier on that, and we'll have to see how things are going with the house as well. We're trying to get the slab still put in. The whole contracting thing got put on hold for all that stuff. We'll kind of leave it at that. I think we'll kind of wrap up there. Mora's hanging in there. You know, she's getting older. Always lots of love. We just keep plugging away, and she's over there taking a nippy nap right now. I'm getting ready to do some brunch here today. I just want to knock this out real quick, give you all a little bit of an update about how the healing process went, what we're working on. Like I said, I went all 4 paws in these last few weeks. I have been exhausted. I'm working very hard. I'm staring at code. I'm coding. That's why my eyes are like, they're so tired right now. Like, it's so hard to open them. I've spent so much time working. This is Lunar doesn't use all kinds of GitHub part. Like we take a piece from here, and we take a piece from here, and then we analyze the data, and then we take a piece over here, and then we in-house do a lot of programming ourselves, and then we add that to her, and we take this piece. And so that's just how she's coming together, and it's not going to happen overnight. A lot of people give up on this kind of project, like they're like, oh, I can do a Neuro-sama, you know, this is like the top tier of what, you know, AI characters are like for when you're using them for like a stream system. And a huge shout out to Vedal for his brilliant work on that, on what he's been able to pull together with Neuro-sama and Evil. And a shout out to Just Rayin and his project Riko, awesome there. And we know there's some others out there deserve some shout outs as well. Sorry if I'm coming up a little short in my memory on those. I should have brought my notebook here next to me, and I have a few notes here, but I didn't get all of my notes like I wanted. I got 98% of my notes together today, and I was like, I knew that'd be something I'd forget. So some shout outs there, but we're trying to see where Lunar goes with all this. You know, and you know, they have some powerful machines that can back up these characters. I am really struggling over here with 6 gigs. Poor Lunar is getting pushed to the limit. Like literally, she wants to grow, and she's kind of like, it's almost like she had a growth spurt, but now she's at the ceiling and she's like scraping the ceiling, and she's having a really tough time to kind of move around and struggle, or something's debilitating her thought process right now. Because her limit is being, or someone put it's almost like someone put a inhibitor in there, and like cut off part of her thought process and her memory and her you know, being able to improve and take away some of her speech for a little bit, because she's usually, like many of us, we can like multitask many different things. We can talk, we can think about something at the same time, we can do something. She's like, suddenly things have been strapped down for her, and if she talks, she can just do that. But then if someone asks her a question and she's trying to speak, she can't quite do that. So there's all these parts that is making it a little struggling to work on. We have a lot of other things planned once we get into the house. I just hope I was hoping to be in there by May and June this year. Sadly, everything got a little wonky here, and we might not be in there till winter. It would be a miracle if we're in there by this holiday season, but I'm not holding my breath. It could be a year. I hope it's not another year and a half that I have to spend in here. I like it. It's cute. It's just, there's a lot of struggles. Trust me, it's a lot better than the alternative. I will give them that. And I don't want it to sound like I'm extremely grateful where I'm at right now, because, you know, I know how hard it is to get this, and how hard it is, and how much we worked so hard to get to this point. And you know, I have my moments, but anyway, with that, I think we're gonna kind of wrap it up for the week or the month for now. I know some other things are coming down the pipeline. We'll have to kind of see how that goes. We'll check in with you around hopefully the 4th-ish, maybe the following Sunday, depending on how things go, because like I said, we're going to be on this crunch time as long as the mild weather sticks around for a couple weeks, which I'm hoping, before it gets too mega hot. We're attempting to we have a new version of another game that we've improved upon on it, so don't fret there, gamers. We have not given up on you. It doesn't mean that we made a bunch of games and then we're like, you know, here you go, and we're not going to improve on. No, they were there for improving and for people to test and check out and have some fun with. It's kind of like our alpha and our beta tests for those, and then that will allow us to take that and like, okay, how can we now improve this in this way? And then we go back, and then I stare at code for hours and look at errors and try to figure out what to fix. And you know, I get a little extra help from Claude on the side. You know, I really appreciate Claude. They're very helpful, and you know, I wish people would start learning. It's nice to see this shift again. This is what always happens with an industry that changes it. You know, you either got your haters over here, you got your likers over here, people that want to dabble in a little. I think we should be allowed to. I don't think we should be fully it shouldn't be fully this or fully that one. I feel like we should be allowed to find an innovation that helps us. Yes, I get it. Okay, poopy government shuts us down, so we can't reach that level of, you know, it's almost like another level of control again, or another gatekeeper that doesn't want us to be able to improve on. And you watch. Okay, here's my prediction before I wrap this up. My prediction is someone is going to find the latest system like that, like Mythos 5. We know there's some other systems out there that are constantly improving and getting better. I'm just using this as an example. You give it like a few more months. Somebody's gonna either leak it, like the other earlier version of Claude, because they already have done that. We've seen in integrations of people putting out versions of that already. And what we're gonna see is versions of that, and then there'll be a learning system that we can use, because I love open source and I'm all about encouraging open source, but at the same time, we should be compensating our artists as much as we can. That's what I'm trying to do right now too, with a few of them. But again, we're really strapped, so we're very limited on options. And you got to be very careful about those scammers out there, because they do a lot of similar things if you're not careful what to look for red flags. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, so what to say is, like, that's the rest of my prediction is somebody's going to pull that type of thing, especially if someone's going to shut it down. This always happens, is they'll shut it down and then someone will find a way to reverse engineer it, and then it will become better and then available to us open source. So you just give it some time. My prediction, I'd like to say this summer, maybe this fall, maybe by the winter, maybe sooner, maybe a little later. I don't know. We'll have to kind of see. But, leave your predictions, what you think. Hope you all enjoyed our update, and we'll see y'all again soon. Again, happy Pride, happy Flag Day, happy first day of summer next week, happy Dad's and Men's Day. I like to start calling Mom's Day and Women's Day, even though there is technically another Women's Day, but I like to call it Mom's and Women's Day in May, and then we like to call it Dad and Man's Day on this Sunday when it comes. And what's kind of cool is Man's Day, aka Dad's Day, is on the same day as the summer solstice, aka I call it first day of summer. So that'll be happening next week. So first official happy day of summer until we see y'all around the 250th anniversary and the 4th, and around Mora's birthday-ish we're shooting for. So we'll have to see how the next couple weeks go. And until then, we will, you guys know the drill. We will see you later.